Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Courtney Kemp here. Just starting to get together for this live. And yeah, starting to get ready. So as people come in, it was a big week on Ghost. I do love that you guys still call it Power. That's really lovely. Hello, Soars. Lots of, hi Romeo. Lots of things to get to this week. Lots of stuff to talk about. Let's see. Someone just asked me, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to do that. Well, this week, there were so many different predictions and so many different things that came up for people. And I definitely want to talk about some of the things, and then I kind of want to disabuse some notions. One thing that I don't necessarily want to do is tell you guys the answers to some of the things that you came up with, only because the season finale is next week, and so, there we are. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is definitely Tariq's flashback at the beginning. Oh, wait, it's only 5:01. Let me wait a little bit. Definitely. But there are some really interesting kind of questions that you guys came up with. I got a lot of questions this week. Some of them were a lot like the same. So I'm going to do a couple just as people are coming in that are not the same. Someone asked me, Forever 612 asked, is the finale going to be longer than an hour? Slightly. It's not going to be like a 2-hour finale, but it's a little long just because, I like to go a little bigger at the beginning of the season, at the end, and Starz is really kind and generous and allows us to go a little bit over. How long does it take to write a season of Power? Well, it's kind of like it takes to do the writing, because the writing process keeps going a little bit while you're shooting. The whole process in general to do 10 episodes of Power, of Raising Kanan, of all the shows is about a year. Because you do have to, in the case of the newer shows, you're building sets and all those things, and that takes time. But in terms of Ghost, it's definitely, we start the room with 20 weeks. We usually extend to about 25 or 30 weeks of writing time. But part of that writing time is also editing. It's also scripts, going out and going through the production process. So it's a lot of back and forth. Definitely. And it's, I'd say, you're talking at first. So the structure of the room is 5 weeks. We just sort of blue sky, as we call it. We talk about scenes we want to see, stuff we owe you guys. That's a big part of it. Like, what do we owe the audience? That's a huge part of doing a series that's going forward. So for those of you who are conceptualizing your own series, one thing that I'll definitely tell you is that you need to think about what you owe the audience. That's super, super important. And that's where some of these questions come from too. And then the next thing is, the next phase is actually breaking those ideas out into character arcs. So we do a lot of that and looking at what the character arcs are going to be. And that's really important as well. Those of you who are asking about my jacket, it's from First Fam Boutique. Support Black-owned businesses, and yes, I decided I would rep today. Let's get into some of these questions. Oh, okay. One question is this idea that Ghost and Lorenzo crossed paths in jail. So Lorenzo is actually at Ossining State Prison. He is in Sing Sing. He is not in federal holding. Federal holding, which was the MCC, that is where Ghost was. Ghost was arrested, if you remember, for a federal crime, which was killing an FBI agent. That was Greg Knox. He was not held in the same facility. So for those of you who keep pitching that Ghost walked by Lorenzo in episode 404, that's not true. None of that is true. They would not have been in the same place. We did shoot in a state prison at one point. We have shot in federal prisons. We've shot in all different kinds of places. But in terms of just the storytelling, that is not it. And so just let that one go entirely. There is no Lorenzo Ghost crossover. Okay, let's see. Another quick question, really easy one. What does Tariq need $2 million for? He wants it for his family. More of that will be explained in later episodes. Oh, hi, Berto. Okay, so, all right. Okay, yes. One of the big things that I definitely want to talk about. Okay, let's do a little one. Little one. Does Diana taking the drugs help Tariq in a way because he has so much heat on him? No. Diana stealing from Tariq does not help him in any way. That's not good. But it actually shows a level of maturity on Diana's part a little bit, because she's not so far gone on Tariq that she will do anything. Anything to like be with him or anything like that. She actually compromises her own relationship with him in order to do it. Hi, Gabrielle Ryan. I see some of the Force cast is in here, which is really nice. Tamika Ray asks, does Davis's brother's storyline play out, connection to the drug game? More of that will be in season 3. Hopefully, we're looking toward that. Prince Rock 803, why is Trace a stuck-up rich white boy, and will Braden kill him? Well, why is Trace Trace? I mean, Trace is Trace, like that. He is who he is. But someone else asked a good question. Why did he not snitch until now? And I think this is really important. So Kane threatens him, and so does Braden. Braden is like, do not do that. And then Tariq threatens him. If you remember, there's a number of times where Trace runs his mouth, and those 3 people are like, you're not going to do anything. But in the context of his parents' townhouse with his lawyer, in a situation where he feels comfortable, and again, we are talking about privilege, he doesn't understand what's on deck. He doesn't understand what he's doing when he's saying he's going to snitch on Kane Tejada. He doesn't get it. It's Braden who actually gets it in that moment. He understands what Trace is doing, and that he is actually signing his own death warrant by offering to snitch. By the way, Jenny also knows that Trace is signing his own death warrant. So when she comes back and she says to Braden, your brother won't have to testify if you turn on Kane, that's a really important question. Okay, so, all right. Are Lorenzo and Ghost related in some way? No. I'm going to wait a full beat. I didn't actually freeze. No, Lorenzo and Ghost are not related. Okay, next. Why is Effie hated on so much when all she done is, this is Prince Rock 803 again. All she did is protect Tariq, unlike Diana and Lauren. So let's talk about Effie for a second. I think there's a lot of stuff that we should talk about in terms of Effie. So the intention with the Effie storyline, and I do think it's very interesting about how all of you guys, or a lot of you, not all of you, a lot of you do understand that Effie is making a double move and that she's conflicted. And I had a great question in here, and here we go. I can tell you who it was. Trina Glenn 67. What was Effie's motivation to go to Kane about Lauren? Jealousy, or was she looking at a bigger picture? I think this is really, really great, because this is actually true. Effie is doing both. But in terms of Effie's character development, which a lot of you guys were asking for, a lot of you guys were looking for backstory for Effie and character development for Effie and more time for Effie, and something that Alex Lepre does really well. Effie's conflicted. Effie does not want to be that girl. She doesn't want to play herself at all. She wants to be the person who can move and stick and move and do whatever she wants. What's best for the whole team is that Lauren goes down. Lauren is a snitch from Effie's point of view. I don't know that's even really like a question. Lauren wore a wire. She got Kane and Braden on the wire. Tariq knows about it, and he's not going to do anything. And in fact, what he's saying is, you don't understand her. You don't get her. And Effie's like, what's there to get? She wore a wire on you, and she was your girlfriend. So Effie's point of view, I think, is pretty clean. It's pretty clear. You know what I mean? But why is Effie motivated to do that? There are some feelings there. And every time Tariq talks about Lauren, and you see that in that performance that Michael Rainey is giving, where he's showing he has real feelings for that girl. He really, really wants her to survive. Now, what Effie can't see, she can't see that those feelings are also about having to lose Tasha, having to lose Yasmin, having to lose all these people in his life because of what's happened to him. So she's not seeing all of that, but she is feeling that jealousy. So it's kind of a dual motivation. It's the right thing to do, but perhaps the wrong reason. I hope that kind of makes sense to you guys. So in other words, Effie is in a complicated frame trying to do what's best. She also does not believe that Lauren has Tariq's best interests in mind. And we have a little scene about that as well, where she says, I think that girl's a bad influence on you. Well, Lauren was doing what was best for Lauren. Remember that. Lauren was doing what was best for Lauren. She also was motivated by protecting Tariq because she was lied to, but she wanted to get out of trouble. Let's not forget about that. And Effie is trying to save all of them. She's trying to save Kane, she's trying to save Braden, and she's trying to save herself. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so a lot of people have asked a lot of questions about Effie's relationship to Mecca, and I was not going to answer that before now, but I think this is super important. Effie and Mecca are not related. They are not, she is not his connect, he is not her connect, they don't know each other. There is no crossover between those two characters. Effie is not a narc, she is not a fed, she is in no way related to any kind of, law enforcement. I want to be really clear about that because I know a lot of guys were, people, not just guys, but a lot of people were asking like, are Effie and Effie and Mecca are related. I want to say something in general about that. We cast the best actors for the show, and we try to get the best people to play those parts. If occasionally those people look somewhat alike, that doesn't necessarily mean that we are trying to tell a story with that. I just want to be really clear. So for example, when we cast Daniel Sunjata, that isn't because there is some sort of overlap between the way he looks and the way Omari looks. That's not at all what was happening. Same thing here with Alex. Alex was cast in season 4 to play Effie. One other thing just about Daniel Sunjata and Omari, which is not really about them, but about their characters. If you guys remember, Ghost is from Queens. He's from Queens, just like Tommy. They're from Jamaica, actually. Dante and Monet grew up in Brooklyn. Another time I'm not frozen, just want to point that out. Okay, I did see a comment over the weekend, and I want to be really clear about something. Someone said that Ghost and Tommy look so much younger than Mecca and Monet, and they were getting all the timeline stuff confused. Okay, the shows are running in real time. So when you saw everybody in 2013, they were their correct ages in 2013. These shows are not happening concurrently. They are happening consecutively. So the ages should make sense if you think of it that way. TV show doesn't stop doesn't freeze in time. So if you're trying to track it. Now, I understand that you guys are doing a lot of tracking, and I love that you're that invested. But I do want to caution, they're just TV shows. So at some level, it's fun and I love it and I really appreciate you guys. And it's so great that you're all here to talk about this stuff. But I do want to be really clear that not only are the timelines consecutive, but the ages of the actors in real life and the ages of the characters have nothing to do with each other. Okay, so Tommy and Ghost are 35 when we start Power. Okay, they're 35 years old. That has nothing to do with Joseph's real age, Omari's real age, all of that stuff. Please, don't do that. Don't waste your time with all that. It's just literally just the timeline. Now, the timeline that does not work, and I will completely swear to this, this is the thing. We could not age Tariq and Raina in real time. There are a lot of reasons that we couldn't do that. So if you're trying to kind of track Michael Rainey's age, don't do that either. We had to tell the story where he is in his adulthood. So this is why we're kind of keeping Tariq's age and Michael Rainey's age close. They're not the same, but it's close. Okay, great. Jay Carey asked, why didn't Effie change her clothes if she killed Lauren? Effie does not live in New York. Effie actually lives in New Haven. Effie wasn't supposed to be gone that long, so she had to come back and be with Tariq because that's what he's expecting her to do. She can't just go AWOL. That's a really important point, but I like that you guys are asking those questions, but the reality is none of these kids is Ghost. If you are expecting these kids to be able to do these things like professionals, they're not. They're trying to learn it and figure out. The reason that Effie showed up and followed Brayden is because she didn't believe that Brayden was going to go through with killing Lauren. Now, why is that? Because he's a kid. He's a kid just like her. She's doing things that are coming out of, like I said, dual motivations and all those feelings, but she's acting and reacting. She's not planning really coolly and simply the way that you would see other people. And I want to make it really clear, we do have strategists on this show. Tariq is a strategist. Even he doesn't always do things perfectly, but that isn't to say that always Effie and Brayden and all those people are going to make the right decisions or what we would want them to do. A friend of mine is always saying, why do your characters act like that? And the reason is, And I'll tell you guys, if they did everything perfectly, there would be no TV show. Okay, if everyone did everything right, there's no TV show, there's no conflict. I'll give you a big example. Should Diana have run her mouth in episode 8? No, but then you don't get to watch her run her mouth. So it is what it is. Okay, so, okay. Did Effie drop out of school? No, she did not drop out of school. She's still doing her work. Okay, let's see. Okay. Wait, hold on. The Elizabethan era said something that I thought was really smart. You guys do a lot of really smart questions. There are a ton of really smart questions on here. I'm not going to lie. But Lorenzo was upset that Drew chose revenge over business. I doubt he sent those hitters after Monet. This is a smart observation. I'm not going to confirm anything, but I am going to say that I do think that that's just, that's a smart observation. Hold on one second. I don't know what's going on here. My request to join. Looks like my requests to join aren't working. Why would that happen? I'll try one more time. Okay. All right, you know who you are. I'm trying to get you to join, and it's not letting me have you guys join. Let me see. Let's see if they come up. That's so strange. I've never had that happen before. All right, well, while I'm trying to get this to work, there's a lot of you who asked me if Lauren is really dead. A lot of you asked me if Lauren was really dead. And what I was going to say is there are lots of questions that you guys ask, like, did Monet kill Carrie? Which I did answer, I think. But is Lauren really dead? That, like, I can't answer that. Why would I answer that? That's going to be, like, the worst for you guys if I answer those questions. I want you to, like, actually, do your thing. If you know who you are, who's supposed to be joining us, can you just send your request again, please? Because it would not work the first time that I did it. I don't know why. Okay. Shantila Shea says, why are you on here lying, Courtney? We know Ghost is alive. I really wish I had my shot glass, but I don't. Okay. Let's see. Someone asked me a really good question, and I will definitely, hackers are on here. Okay. Thank you for the person who said that. Did Daniel Sunjata have a small part in Power? Was he Mecca then? No, he was never on the show. Mecca was never actually in the series before. I know I did get a bunch of questions about that. Mecca's storyline was only embedded in a very small way, and it was never embedded as Mecca. There was no reference to Mecca, and Daniel Sunjata was not playing him at that time. I don't know why my requests to join are not working. It's literally coming up blank when I press it, which is really strange. Okay. I have a cast member on deck to join us right now, and I don't know, I'm having no luck with that. I suppose I could end the live and try to start it over again, maybe? Or maybe it's an internet issue. I may have to do that as a separate live, then maybe afterward. What do you think I should do? Because it's literally won't let me.
Don't end it. Let me see.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna go back to these questions, and you know who you are. Just hold tight. I see your second attempt to request. I'm gonna try to see if I can get that to work. I'll try one more time, and then we will just. I have no idea why that's happening, which is really annoying because this is like a really fun special guest for you guys. I'm so annoyed. But for whatever reason, it's like there's so many of you sending in viewer requests that I like literally can't. I don't know why my IG is acting up, but it's definitely acting up. And I'm getting nothing on requests to join. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep answering questions. Okay. Let's see if there is. Oh, those of you who are saying clicking their name, Toya, I see you helping me. It won't even pull up names. It just gives me like blank It just gives me blank. It won't even literally, I can't even get anything. It's so strange. The rest of it is working. All right. I am not actually going to keep trying. I'm going to just go through the live and see if I can get that a little bit later. And see if I can do a second thing because it's just not working. All right. Okay. Next question. I'm seeing if there's any questions that you guys have. Okay. Is Power coming to LA? No. We are not planning to do a Los Angeles version. We were going to, and then the Tommy version ended up with being in Chicago. Okay, yeah. Let's see. All right, no hot questions. Okay, so let's see. Some official vibes. Is Tariq going to find out about Tasha and Sean back in the day? Wow, great question. I will send that forward for season 3. That's not something we were planning for season 2. Okay, so there's a lot of questions about Ghost saying that he had a Spanish brother who was in the military. I have no idea what you're talking about. I literally have no idea what that was. Literally. Also, just to say it, the mecha character is not Spanish. He's not Latino. The Daniel Sunjata is mixed. He's biracial. He's black and white, and so is the character. Thank all of you guys who are telling me how to have somebody join my live and saying click their name. I totally get it. The name's not coming up. It's not, it's literally doing that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this live and I'm going to try to see if I can get the person to join without. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But yeah, because it would be really great to have this person. Okay. Did you just request me?
Just to test it.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't pull up any. So I'm going to end the live and then I'll start it over again. Okay, so stay there. I'm going to end the live and I'm going to start over again. Okay.